Hello, everyone.
Hello, and I'm the director.
Today, let's discuss a question from an aspiring manga artist from worldwide. It's a very interesting topic. Hi, Mr. Boichi. How did you learn to draw character expressions, such as Senku's face becoming overly cartoony in Dr. Stone? Sure, I may only know some things, but I'll do my best to help. Senku's handsome and serious expression changes so naturally into a funny and ridiculous one, and I find that really amusing. Could you teach me how to draw that? I know you receive many questions, but I hope mine catches your attention. I look forward to your advice, Sensei. Thank you very much for your excellent question. I love your questions. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment anytime.
Your support, subscriptions, and questions significantly contribute to the growth of our channel.
The serious expressions of a character, or realistic expressions, simple expressions or exaggerated cartoony, and funny facial expressions, all mixed in one character in one piece of work. Even when I was serializing Sunken Rock, I often received advice from senior Japanese manga masters. Hey Boichi-kun, you're very skilled at drawing extreme facial expressions. I think that's the uniqueness of your work. I received such comments several times. I believe my ability to draw these funny character face expressions well stems from my past experience as a women's manhwa artist in Korea. In 1999, Korean women's manhwa was a trend that combined beautifully drawn handsome characters with simple, cartoony style. The characters with a 9 heads figure are portrayed in SD style in amusing situations. So I'm incorporating what I learned from working in women's manhwa into my current work. Now, how should we blend expressions like serious and exaggerated facial expressions, realistic and simple and cartoony facial expression style, into a character within the same genre or work? To consider this, indeed, we need to study both drawing styles and expressions. Indeed, right? If you want to cook Chinese cuisine and also make Japanese food, you need to study cooking, right? The question is, how can we incorporate various styles of facial expressions into the character? This will be the crucial point of today's video. Let me explain using Dr. Stone as an example. In Dr. Stone, I didn't just use 2 styles, but rather 3 styles of expressions or faces. What are they? What are the standard drawing styles of Dr. Stone? The standard drawing style of Dr. Stone, the realistic but a little simple style, and cartoony style. For example, a very serious situation is happening in the scene, or when zooming in closely on the face, such as focusing on the eyes or mouth. In these situations where a part of the face needs to be in close-up, I would draw it in a slightly more realistic style than my usual drawing style. Many manga artists, not just myself, use such techniques. Now, many artists use these techniques. Therefore, they don't usually stand out but feel smooth, because we use them commonly. That is why I use 3 drawing styles, but I describe it as 2. There are various ways to mix facial expression styles, but I'll only discuss 5 of them in this video. It involves mixing various drawing styles. Among numerous methods, here are 5. First, if the character's design points are distinct, they will be recognizable regardless of the drawing style or expression technique used. Second, if the artist's drawing style is distinctive, it's okay to adapt different artists' styles of expression. Mixing various styles is not a problem. Third is, if there's clear consistency and a main drawing style, variations won't confuse. Fourth, exaggerated and extreme facial expressions should be used rarely. In other words, they should be used only when absolutely necessary. The last one is, if changing expressions and drawing styles make the character hard to recognize, you can add symbols such as their name. I'll show you how to draw various facial expression styles with these 5. If a character's design points are distinct, they will look like the same character regardless of the style used. Let's draw the faces. Just faces. I'm drawing a face that resembles Senku a bit. Here we go. And another one. Let's stretch the face a bit. I like it. How about we exaggerate the character's expressions this time? Should I exaggerate the eyes and nose? How about a snot nose? In the manga, drawing the nose realistically with nostrils can look funny. So let's draw the nose realistically. I'll also draw the mouth a bit realistically. Draw an exaggerated but realistic style. And cheekbones and some sweating. There! If you look at these individually, they don't look like the same character. But as you all know, Senku has distinct design points. Let me show you a Senku figure. As you can see, Senku's design points include his spiky hairstyle. There's also the scars on his face from the petrification. Now, I'll draw the spiky hairstyle, which is one of Senku's design points. But I'm not going to draw the scars on his face this time. Does it look like Senku? Anyway, here is Senku. Let's draw Senku's hairline. Change the hairline a bit. How does it look? It resembles Senku now, doesn't it? By incorporating these distinct design elements of the character, how did the different faces turn out? No matter how I draw it, it always looks like my own drawing style. They all became Senku. You can study and use facial expressions created by other creators. I once studied the facial expressions from Zatch Bell extensively. I love the facial expressions in Zatch Bell, so I studied diligently. I used and adapted many expressions from Zatch Bell, and I was captivated by a work called Afro Tanaka. I've expressed my fondness for this work before, and its facial expression portrayal is truly remarkable. Masaharu Noritsuki Sensei excels in depicting facial expressions. I studied it while reading Afro Tanaka and applied it. The Afro Tanaka style was another artist's facial expression method I delved into. There are numerous clever and witty expressions, but let me illustrate just one. This expression really funny, right? Even though I drew it, it's a really funny face look. It's hilarious. Therefore, if you have a distinct drawing style that sets you apart, you can study and incorporate expression techniques from other artists. This is entirely different from plagiarism. Of course, as an artist, you should use them with respect and gratitude toward the original creators. Now, if I add Senku's spiky hair design to here, it becomes Senku, doesn't it? And with clear distribution of various styles, incorporating multiple variations into the character won't be confusing. Essentially, this drawing style is the core, with 20% of this, 20% of this, and another 20% of this, and another 20% of this. Mixing this drawing style by 20% each can be confusing, so it doesn't feel natural and readers won't recognize the character. They might wonder, who is this? Of course, this could also be a strategy or artistic style, but if there's a clear reason and it's one of the expression techniques, it's fine to use. However, mixing each different expression style by 5% into the basic drawing style of 80% won't be confusing. Mixing like this is okay. For me, it has worked. That's my perspective. So, the harmony of the balance will be determined by the communication between the artist and the readers. Moreover, the more exaggerated and extreme the expression, the more you should use it sparingly. For example, this expression is highly exaggerated. This one is also quite exaggerated. Such facial expressions should be used rarely, if at all, with a probability of 5%. This one will be 1%. This one is about 2%. Using it this way is also effective for manga direction. And if you find it really hard to recognize the character, then here, I'll draw Senku for you. This face doesn't resemble Senku at all. I'll add slightly more realistic eyes. Here, I'll add a cartoony eye and twist the face. Senku has a smooth face, but I will add some stubble. Right now, I'm drawing Senku. And draw the cheekbones too. There I draw entirely differently from Senku. Definitely not like Senku. Different facial structure, shape, and jawline too. His forehead line will be entirely different. And his hair will be bald. I write the name Senku. By incorporating Senku's design points like this, even if it doesn't look like Senku, readers will recognize it as Senku. What do you think? Do you think it's Senku? If Senku's design points still remain, it will resemble Senku. But I remove all of Senku's design points, it won't resemble Senku. Not at all. However, there are techniques commonly used in manga.
Tricky. That's very interesting.
Even if I draw Senku very simply, write the name Senku next to it makes it Senku. Or Kohaku and Chrome, Senku's friends next to it saying, "Hey, it's Senku." He makes the weird face again. Explaining it this way is also an option. Or different ways to express Senku. Apart from the face, draw in points that clearly identify it as Senku.
Aha! Drawing a symbol that represents Senku helps identify it as Senku.
Exactly. It's an entirely different face, but the readers still recognize it as Senku. There are ways to recognize completely different images as characters through the flow from panel to panel. The flow, the panels. This is important. These images of Senku in the panels like this. It already shows you how important the flow of manga panels is. If you create context manga panels like this, the reader's gaze will be drawn this way. Just put a dot in the panel. What does this dot look like to you? This dot is Senku. If you can't recognize it as Senku, you might need to learn how to read manga or comics first. Earlier, I mentioned human faces and expressions, but this is not even a human form. It's just a dot.
Wicked!
No eyes, nose, or mouth. Yet even a dot can be recognized as a character, Senku. There's no way it can't become Senku with various facial shapes and expressions like this. Ways like inserting marks and symbols that can be recognized through context or lines from surrounding characters like, Senku makes a weird face again. These are ways to be recognized as a character through context manga panels. There are many other methods besides what I have been showed you, but I've explained it in these 5 ways. Mixing various drawing styles and expression methods in manga, it's not always good. I like using it, but I don't think it's the best method. It can be confusing and have drawbacks as well. Then, what are the advantages? Firstly, if used well, it enhances communicative power. And what else is good? It allows the artist to enjoy their skills. The arts, including manga, are similar to sports or acrobatics. Fundamentally, they have such aspects. What that means? It's about enjoying the skills. If you can enjoy your own skills, you can draw and read manga much more enjoyably. Enjoying the essence of culture and art, you can feel that aspect. Therefore, works that incorporate various skills clearly have a side of enjoying those skills. And some readers enjoy seeing such things. Yes, I think so. So, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. See you next time.